Good afternoon, everybody. Mortgage Rob with Invis. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about investment properties. Through my past career and a number of clients that I deal with, I do a lot of financing with my clients on their purchasing of rental properties. And in many cases, it's not so much that I guess through the circle of people that I have networked with, it's not people that are just looking at buying one or two or rental properties just to subsidize their income. In many cases, it's people that want to get quite aggressive with purchasing rental properties and creating a portfolio of cash flowing investments. One of the key things that I spend a lot of time with talking about people is more what their long-term goals are. The mortgage transaction, when it comes down to financing, is simply that. It's more the transaction. But many times, one of the keys is what is further on down the road. And in many cases, and in a lot of times, the decisions that you make on your financing today can really affect what your next steps are going to be. So it's a little bit more complicated than just simply buying a new home. And you have a down payment, you buy a new home, your mortgage is there, and it's all done. When you're buying a rental property, or if you have a strategy, or if you have a focus of buying multiple rental properties, as I mentioned, it's really key to understand not just where you are now, or when you buy your one or two properties, but how many properties will you be looking at down the road. What lenders you use today may make a significant difference in your success in the future. For example, there's many mortgage lenders in the industry that only allow a client to own up to 4 properties. There's a handful of lenders that don't have that policy. So one of the key things is knowing what that long-term goal is. And if that long-term goal is going to be in the range of maybe 8 to 10 to 15 properties, it might be best to use some of the more restrictive lenders in the early purchases as opposed to trying to squeeze them in later on down the road. So knowing where you are today and having a plan is one of the real keys. The other aspect that comes up to, and I can help walk you through that process, is how many properties do you want to own, and what are you going to be focusing on as far as neighborhoods, types of properties, etc. Many of my clients just are planning to use home equity that they've built up in their residence in order to buy some rental properties. And keeping it realistic, I think, is one of the key things. If you've got, for example, $150,000 to buy rental properties and you want to start to create a portfolio, what's your targeted purchase price? If you need $30,000 or $40,000 per property in order to purchase in your market that you're focusing on, I mean, your equity basically would get you through 3 to 4 properties. The cash flow that you've created off of those 3 to 4 properties, is that your end goal? Or do you have other strategies with, partnering with friends and family, or possibly, looking at turning some properties over by improving them, improving and then reselling in the future to gain some more equity. So there's a number of variables. It is a little bit of a process to sit down and actually work through what your long-term strategies are, but I definitely recommend it. So whether you're looking at buying your first property, or maybe you've got 2 or 3 properties under your belt already, I can help you with sitting down and looking at what your next steps are going to be, and coming up with a strategy for the lenders that you can work with. So the lending industry has certainly gotten a lot tighter in the last 12 months as far as buying rental properties. CMHC came out with their changes in April, which changed many of the policies in the industry and made some fairly significant restrictions onto how we calculate rental income. So there's a lot to know, but basically, working with a professional that does own some rental properties and has worked extensively with clients in financing rental properties is going to be one of the keys to your success. So if you'd like to sit down, review your existing portfolio, or just discuss what it's like being a landlord in general, I'd be happy to help you with that. You can visit me on my website at www.mortgagerob.ca, or feel free to send me an email, rob@mortgagerob.ca. Thanks very much and have a great day. Talk to you next time.